Okay, let's talk about ventilation. What is ventilation? It is the amount of air exchanging in the alveoli. The key word is the amount of air exchanging. It is not just the amount of air that enters in the lungs, but it is the amount of air in which the gaseous exchange takes place. Now, what are the factors which affect how much air will exchange? So, they are alveolar pressure, the pressure of the gases in the alveoli, the pressure of the gases in the blood that is flowing in, and the change in the alveoli shape. Now, to understand this better, you can see my earlier video on intrapleural pressure. But for now, let's say that, and we know this for a fact, that intrapleural pressure is always negative, but it is not negative throughout the lung. That is, it has a different value here and a different value here. So here in the zone 1 of the lung, it is -10, -5 and -2.5. So accordingly, there are different forces acting on the alveoli here and here. Let's focus. This is how the lung looks in its normal resting volume. That is when neither is the lung inflating or is it deflating. So no inspiration, no expiration occurring. This is how the lung looks. These are the circles which tell us the alveoli shape. In zone 1, you can see the alveoli is bigger. Why is that? Because there are two equally acting opposite forces on it. That is a gravity force which pulls the alveoli down, and the intrapleural pressure which acts upwards and pulls the alveoli upwards. So this causes the alveoli shape to increase in size. So normally in zone 1 the alveoli is bigger, whereas in zone 3 it is small because both the forces are acting in the same direction, gravity and the intrapleural pressure. So alveoli here are less stretched in normal resting lung volume. But when inspiration occurs, there is a change in the shape of the alveoli. And why is that? Because as air enters, obviously air will enter into the alveoli and it will inflate. That is, it will inflate the lungs. So there will be a change in the shape of the alveoli. But what matters is how much is the change in the alveoli shape. You can compare these two figures. Here the alveoli shape is already bigger. On inspiration it hardly changes. Like suppose here 5 ml air is entering in this alveoli, here 6 ml air will enter. Like there is not great difference in the shape of the alveoli, so there is not great amount of air that will get exchanged, because what amount of air exchanging depends on is the change in the shape of the volume, change in the shape, alveoli shape, sorry, right? So that was about zone 1. Now in zone 3 we can see here alveoli is very small, but here it's huge because a lot of air is entering in, right? So there is a greater change in the shape of the alveoli. So here there will be better air entering, more air entering. So this area will be better ventilated compared to this area. When we plot a graph of, here we put the zones and here we put the amount of air entering, we can see that it increases. In zone 3 there is increased amount of air entering, so zone 3 is better ventilated than zone 1, and these plus signs indicate how much ventilation occurs.